Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to be doing a playthrough of Omicron Protocol, an inter-apocalyptic squad-based miniatures game. This is by Dead or Alive Games, designed by Brendan Kendrick and Bernie Lynn. We're going to be playing through the solo cooperative version of this game. This can be played as a skirmish game where you're going against other factions, or you can play this solo cooperative, and that's of course what we are going to do. We're going to be taking a faction and try to complete one of the scenarios in our scenario book. The cool thing about this game is that all the scenarios are linked together, but do not have to be played in a campaign if you do not wish to. Starting with the first one, though, there is a small story that talks about what is going on. The second one then would continue in that storyline, but the ability to complete the mission isn't based on whether or not you did the first one. It's pretty cool. So all of these can be played in a standalone fashion. Also, I would like to mention that Dead Alive Games did give me this copy to be able to do this playthrough. I hope you're excited to see what this game is all about. And if you are, then I need you to meet me at the table. The scenario we're going to be playing is hands-on research. Every scenario has a different way that the map is laid out. What you're seeing here is all the different terrain pieces, the different spawn places, and where some of our enemies are going to start in the game. We're going to be placing our characters right down here in the starting area. The plot behind hands-on research states you receive a broadcast that penetrates the information blockade surrounding San Lorenzo. The message sender claims to represent a group calling themselves the Scientists that was researching the Sims when they were forced to evacuate a few weeks ago. They are very concerned about the Sims virus mutating and want to help the people trapped in the city. In the message, they teach you how to modify your equipment to scan the infected implants of the Sims, and how to find and upload the data to an abandoned computer research console in Republic Square. The research console is the only known way of getting data out of the city. The scientists are designing a vaccine, a type-to-purge script, and are willing to share the beta version of the script in exchange for more data on the Sims. As the sun sets, you arrive at Republic Square hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Every scenario is going to have a goal. We're supposed to destroy some Sims so we can download their implants. Then we're supposed to upload the implant data at the research console. The scenario has some special rules. One of them is we have to implant data. When a Sim is KO'd, place an objective token that looks like that in the hex that's occupied. This token represents the implant data. So we're going to try to get a hold of that data and upload it. Research console. Place the research console. It looks like this in the hex shown on the map. It is considered a tall terrain. So different terrain is going to affect you based on the actual height of it. Each character may only carry one implant data, and when a character holding an implant data token is KO'd, the player controlling that character may place the token in an adjacent hex of the choosing, even if the hex is occupied. Implant data that is not held by a character are removed from the board during cleanup at the end of each round. So we want to try to get a hold, KO these guys, and get this stuff so we can upload it. Yeah! This game is based on victory points, so the scenario objective is each uploaded implant data is going to give us 1 character KO. We're going to lose 2, and if we are ever able to KO 5 Sims, we're going to gain a victory point. Here's some information on how we're going to be interacting with these scenario objectives. To download the implant data, we're going to spend 1 AP, which is going to cause 1 EM noise. 1 anytime during the activation of any character. A character may pick up 1 implant data from their own hex or an adjacent hex. I'll discuss what EM noise is and AP is as we get closer to starting the playthrough. We're going to upload the implant data. That is going to cost us an AP, and it's going to cause 2 EM noise. The active character may upload the implant data while in a hex adjacent to the research console. We can exchange implant data, which is going to cost us an AP and 1 noise. The active character may take an implant data token from an adjacent character or place their token in an adjacent hex even if the hex is occupied. Here are the scoring goals. We can either play on easy, normal, hard, or nightmare. I'm going to play on normal mode, so I'm going to be playing 3 rounds, and we have to try to get 5 victory points in those 3 rounds. The next thing we have to do is choose which faction we're going to play with. The base game comes with 2 different factions, and you can get an expansion that adds 4. This is one of the expansion scenarios. It is the Animals expansion. This is pretty cool. I get to play as some animals from Central Park or something, if I remember right. These are going to have special rules just for their particular faction. They're going to affect the way the characters play out. For example, I have this Sims Hater. All friendly characters get +1 to attack, but this isn't going to work in solo co-op mode, so this isn't actually going to be part of the deal, which is too bad. In the skirmish mode, though, they would be able to be good against fighting against these Sims. The Sims are going to be the main bad guys in our co-op solo scenarios, but when you're playing in the competitive version, not only are they getting in your way, but also your opponents are getting in your way. Right here it says charging animal. All friendly characters do not suffer -2 when they perform a charge action, and you'll see how that works in the playthrough. No hands. Of course, these are all animals. Unless specified, they cannot perform the first aid action, so we can't heal up some of our characters if they get hurt. We have an extraordinary tactic, which you're able to do 1 time in a game as a free action. Rampage. All friendly characters within 6 hexes of the activating character, 1 by 1, may immediately perform a side step forward, which obviously is going to make them move. And then after that, they're going to perform a melee action out of attacking order. I don't know about you, but I don't think I want to see anything about some kind of rampaging animals flying around. Down here, you're going to notice that this is how you keep track of the points for your faction. And the cool thing is these are dry erase, so you can go ahead and just mark them right on here, just like that. And then as you're all done, then you just take your eraser and whoop, voila, super cool. So that's neat how they actually perform that. Every character is a little bit different. I'm just going to show you one. This is Jugger. He is the elephant, which is pretty awesome. He's going to have multiple things going on here. First, we have all our different stats over here. Walk is showing how fast this character can move. He can move 2 spaces. And the parentheses there is if he decides to spend an action point, he can do an extra accelerated move, giving him an extra 3 speed if he wishes to. The next stat we have is our attack stat. This is going to be the base number of dice a character rolls when performing an attack. The next one is our dexterity. The dexterity is the number representing the character's ability to defend themselves. The dice value rolled as a result of an attack action trigger the character that must equal or exceed the dex value to be considered a hit. So he's obviously a huge giant target. He's going to get hit pretty badly. The luck value there is the number that represents the ability to channel sheer dumb luck to avoid mishaps or bullseyes. This is the only stat where the lower one is better, so this 5 is not good. How this works is as you're rolling dice, if you decide not to use a dice for any of the other things here, you could potentially gain a luck point out of it, but of course it has to be a 5+ for this guy. Hit points, he has 24 hit points, which is out of control. If you notice here, you're going to see another symbol, like a parentheses there. The next numbers are hit points. We start with 24. There's a track down here where we can keep track of our 24 hit points. There's a little symbol here. This is a recovery level. A character may be healed to its recovery level by the first aid action. Now remember, none of our characters can actually perform a first aid action unless the character says so on their card. For example, we are going to be using Walter here, who has, right here, posable thumbs. This model may perform the first aid action. After all, it's a monkey. He can run up to you with a med kit. Why not? These are all cybernetically enhanced animals, so they are pretty smart, and they are going to try to help each other out. Next, we have these area here. This is the range for our cybernetic tusks. It is going to cause 2 noise whenever we make an attack. Based on the amount of successes, we can trade them in for this much damage, or we could trade them in for some of these abilities down here, such as Shift, Stun, Shift 2, or Shift 3. This thing can shift all over the place. It's a pretty shifty elephant, you ask me. So you can either choose to do the damage with the type of successes you have, or you can gain some of these abilities down here. Remember, your attack value is 5, so he's going to roll up 5, and depending on how much successes he gets, that's how much damage he can do, or choose abilities, which is kind of cool. And some of the abilities that you have over here are just going to cost AP points. And these are either going to be tech abilities, as you can see by this blue symbol here, or they're going to be standard abilities, which you see down here. So these are going to be activated based on successes, where this one, I could just pay the 2 AP, grab a 4 noise, which is quite a bit, to put out an area of effects, or a template. Non-friendly characters hit suffer 2 damage, and the Sims hit are KO'd. So this thing can take out a bunch of Sims if they're all around them, which would be really cool. They do have some passive powers. After all, this is an elephant. It's going to have a lot of cool things. It can reduce damage. It can also, it's a juggernaut, so when this model performs a walk action, it may apply Shift 2 once per model per round to all models adjacent to it at any point during its move. This model also ignores movement penalties for terrain. It can just charge through. It's pretty awesome, or just move around and move through people. I got tusks, which is pretty sweet. This ability can only be used if this character is not coming back from being KO'd. In this game, there is not any type of permanent death. If you're ever KO'd, you come back the next round and gain back some of your hit points, but some of the abilities you're not able to use. So you won't be able to use this KO for this trunk ability here. And I'll show you how that all works during the playthrough. Actually, I hope I don't. I don't really want to get KO'd. KO'd is not a friendly thing. That was Jugger. Most of the other ones are very similar in the way they operate here. Jugger has the most hit points, but the bear also has pretty good hit points at 18. But over here, we've got 7 for both of for Walter and Howl here. And if you notice, Walter actually has a gun symbol here, so he can use ranged attacks. Basically, he's the only one with a hand, so he's the only one that can do this. But Howl and Bob both have being able to put out a lot of damage, and they have some different abilities that you're probably going to see as we play through this playthrough. In the solo co-op mission here, we're going to place out 6 Sims in accordance to our book. If we see right here, they're going to be placed down where those C's are. To figure out what Sims we're going to put down, we have a deck of cards here. These are basically used only for the solo AI version of this game. It's going to make sure that all the different Sims are a little bit different. Also, they're interconnected with different powers. These cards are not only going to show us which Sims are going to come on the board, but also what powers they have. For example, our first one is going to be, who is this here? Shoes made for walking. The CM has a walk +3. This is going to be Stiletto. So we'll place this down over off to the side. There is a printable version of a mat you can make, and I'm sure as this game, as the game continues to grow, there might be a chance that that's actually going to be something you can pick up for yourself. But Stiletto is going to go out on the board, and we'll put her right over here. The game comes with both miniatures and standees. I'm going to use standees for our Sims, but I will be using the miniatures for our characters. For example, here is Jugger. Check this guy out. This is absolutely an amazing elephant. This is out of control. So I've got this elephant here I'll be placing down when we start. We also have that bear. This is Bob the bear. He's got this big metallic arm. It's pretty awesome. Here's Bob. He is pretty sweet. We also have that monkey. This is Walter. Walter is right here. He's kind of a screaming monkey here. He's got just a little coat on or something. A little, I don't know, I guess it's a shirt. And then Howl is our wolf. This is Howl. Howl's also painted up and ready to go. I was able to get these painted. Sadly, I didn't get a chance to do it live. I do live painting videos that show off how I'm able to get these miniatures to where you see them now. If you're interested in seeing those, please check out my channel on some of the live playthroughs I do. I do live playthroughs, and I also will do some live painting. But we'll place these guys down in just a second. We're going to continue with these Sims. That was our first one. We're going to grab our second one here. We also have another Stiletto. So this is how this is going to work. So Stiletto has a power right now that gives the ability to have walk number 3. We'll look at the Sims card here to show you that the walk value for it is normally only 2. So now Stiletto can walk 3, but on top of that, it's got this Sim and all adjacent Sims gain +1 dex. So you're going to stack these cards on top of each other. So all of the Stiletto characters that come out now have that power as well. This one will be placed right there. We'll draw our next card and see who we have. We have one Sean, who has a smoking gun. When this Sim inflicts damage, the target character suffers the burning condition. Well, that's not going to be good. So we'll get his standee. And he does only have one shoe, which is kind of cool. And he'll be placed right there. Our next Sim is going to be McFly. McFly has quick healing. This Sim requires 4 damage in a single attack to KO it. So we'll put that one out on the board. I want to mention that these Sims all only have 3 hit points, except now this guy has 4, and he's going to go right there. And at any time, you have to do 3 or nothing. There's not really they don't really put like hit point tokens out on these Sims. So we either have to do 3 damage to take one of these out, or we have to stun it twice. The next one we have is going to be, who's this? Prada. Prada is going to do Wild Swing. This Sim may perform attack at range 1 or 2. We'll put that miniature out next. I should say standee, not miniature. We'll put it right there. And we have one more we have to draw. And we've got another McFly here. This Sim, it gains +1 attack to each attack. That's going to be terrible. So now not only can this one get +1 to attack, it also requires 4 in order to kill it. Oh my gosh, this is going to be really bad for us, our little guys here. But I think we'll be okay. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully we can do well. This game is, it's not easy. It's not a walk in the park ever. It is a pretty tough game. So I'm excited to see if we can make it through. We'll put him right there. So we got 2 McFlys, we got 2 Stilettos, and we got a couple other people out on the board as well. Next, we'll grab 6 action points here. Those are our AP. We have a pool of action points that we can use for our characters here, not individual uses of these, so we have to decide who we think is best to go when. On top of that, each of us are going to gain 1 luck token. These luck tokens can be used to modify a die up or down 1 point. On top of that, you can use it in place of a condition, but you have to spend 3 tokens in order to not gain a condition. For example, that burning condition that one of those guys can do. Also, you can spend a luck token to ignore 1 damage when you're using your dexterity here. So this person might want to save this for this. He only got a 2. But this person's got a 4. That one's got a 2 as well. Obviously, the 2 big guys have no dex, but the smaller guys have 4 each. So when you go to see if we're hurt, if we take a damage, we could spend one of these to use for when we roll our dex to prevent one of that damage. And I'm already trying to make this game harder than it should be. I've given myself 6. I'm supposed to have 8 action points. So you get to 8 action points each round to be able to use for all of your characters. The only thing left to do is place down our characters, and I have decided to place them right here. We do have to start behind this blue line down here in this area. So now we have to decide who's going to go first. I think we'll start with Bob the Bear. Bob's pretty awesome. He's got a total walk value of 3. And then he can spend an action point to gain an extra 3. So that's what we're going to do. We have our 8 action points. I'm going to use one of them to move. I get a free move of 3. And I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. Then I get another 3 movement. 1, 2, 3. This right here is not any type of terrain. It's just an area that spawns Sims. This, though, is going to be small terrain, which is going to cost 2 movement points to walk through. This up here with a T on it, these ones with T are tall terrain. They are obstructed terrain. You cannot walk into them or walk through them. And there's also blocking terrain, but we don't have any of that on our map. We do have our objective token there. So we'll move over here. We've used one of our action points to move. We're going to now use our second action point to attack. And I have a range of 1, and it's going to cause 2 EM noise. I'm going to place that die right here to show that I have that I gained 2 EM. This is going to be used for when we try to spawn our Sims or when we actually activate our Sims. But at this point, we're going to attack that Sim is what we're going to do. And we're going to roll up our attack dice, and Bob has a good old number 7 here. Now, in order to perform that attack when you move, you have to charge. Charging is going to make you use -2 to your attack. But we do have our animal ability that allows us to ignore that. It says charging animal. All friendly characters do not suffer -2 when performing a charge action. So doing a charge action can only be done when you're using your extra speed modifier here, and it's going to cost you an extra action point. So we've used a total of 2 action points just to activate Bob. One was to use the extra movement, and one is used to do the charge ability, which is pretty sweet. So let's roll up our dice and see how we do. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 6, 7. Oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. Let's do some major damage to these guys. I got a lot of 6s and 5s, so like that. Their dex is only going to be a 3, but this is Stiletto. And if we look at Stiletto's card, Stiletto does have the 2 abilities here. One gives her walk 3, and the other one is this Sim, and all adjacent Sims have +1 dex. So that means instead of needing a 3, I need a 4 in order to hit. So these 2 are not hits unless I want to spend my luck token. I could spend that to modify this die to bring it to a 4, but I don't think that's going to be something we're going to do, so we'll leave it back at a 3, wherever that was. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, so at this point I can now spend these on my card. That card here with 5 successes gives me 4 damage, or I could take 3 successes and give myself 3 damage and carry over 2, which then I could potentially use down here. I could shift 2 or 1, I could, that's about it. Or I could, let's see here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do a wild attack, which is located up here. All AoE pulse, all non-friendly models hit suffer 4 damage. Now that's only a range of 1. It's going to give me 2 more EM, so that's not going to help me at all. I could roar. Roar is I believe, a time power. It's not one that's going to be activated from here, but we're not going to use Roar. We're just going to do the 3 damage. So I'm going to grab 3 of my dice, 1, 2, 3, and cause 3 damage to that Sim. And in order to take out a Sim, you need to deal with 3 damage or stun it twice. We're not going to stun it. We're just going to do 3 damage and kill it. So Stiletto's dead. Stiletto has removed from the board, and at this point, when you do remove a Sim, you can choose which one of these you wish to remove from the board there. I'm going to remove this one. I don't care if it has, oh no, I want to remove this one. I want to keep that one. She can walk 3 all day long. I don't want her getting +1 dex. That's brutal. So instead, I do have 2 more dice now. I do have 2 more dice. I'm going to grab 2 luck tokens with those 2 dice. I have a luck value of 6. And so I do have 2 leftover 6s, so I'm going to grab 2 luck tokens with those 6s, bringing our total luck to 3 for him. And since we've KO'd a sim, we're going to put a little dot inside this part of our card here to show that we have taken out one of the sims. And when we get to 5, we'll erase that and move the point over to here so we actually have a point. I'm going to be done activating him, but we'll drop an objective token there. I can pick that up at any time during an activation for 1 AP and 1 EM noise. At this point, I will check to see if any sims are within my EM radius, and that's 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. No, none of these are within the radius, so they're not going to activate. At this point, we're going to come to the end of round activations of sims. The way this works is a little bit different than the competitive version. The competitive version, at the end of all the activations, you're going to spawn some extra sims. But in the cooperative version, at the end of every character's activation, you're spawning a new sim. And it's going to spawn in wherever that character is, or as close to it as possible. And we have what's this punk girl. We are Legion. The sim and all adjacent sims ignore 1 damage from each attack targeting him. Well, that's terrible. So we're going to find CM Punk and place it down on the closest spawn point to this character. Well, it's on one, so I'm going to put it right there. And I believe it activates as well, so it's going to make an attack against Bob. Our sims have an attack value of 2, so they're going to roll 2 dice. Bob has a dex of 2, so that's terrible, and he's going to take 2 damage. I could choose to use 2 luck points if I wanted to knock that down to 1, but I'm not going to do it. We're just going to take 2 damage. I'm totally fine with that. He has a total of 18 health. He's out of control. He's got lots of health. So we're going to mark off 2 health points on him and move on to the next character. I think our elephant will move next. Jugger, before we do, I do want to mention that I do have this animal toughness, reduce the damage of the model from a sim attack by 1. So I only took 1 damage on Bob. I've removed 1 of the damage from him. I think we'll start with here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, well, let's figure out what we're going to do. This thing is super unwieldy here. Okay, we're going to use our ability to use Juggernaut. When this model performs a walk action, it may apply shift 2 once per model per round to all models adjacent to it. At any point during its move, this model also ignores the movement penalties of terrain. So I can move this character kind of around here. I'm going to move these 2, 1, 2. It's going to shift 2 that way. This one's going to shift 1, 2 this way. And this is going to go 1, 2, 1 to right there, I think. And then this Jugger is going to now make an attack against this person. But I don't think I can actually kill it because I only get 5 attack. And the most I can ever do is 3, and this one reduces the damage just by 1. I could do a stun to it, which could potentially help us, because I believe Howl can also stun these as well, which wouldn't be a bad idea. But I think I don't even know if it's worth attacking. I don't think it is. We're not going to attack, we're just going to move up. That's going to be the end of its turn. I am going to have to spawn another monster here, or another sim, I should say. I do have this Electro Blast if I want to do it. AoE template, non-friendly characters hit suffer 2 damage. Sims hit are KO'd. It's going to cause 4 EM noise, and it's going to go straight out like that. I don't see why I don't do that. And to activate it, I believe I just pay the 2 AP. There isn't anything here showing that I'm supposed to gain some successes in order to do it. I think I just pay the 2 AP and destroy this guy. Why would I not want to destroy something? I'm going to destroy that guy. I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to give this person a 4 right there. And I think this one's going to be super dead. That's fantastic. But I'm going to spawn a new one. But before I do, I am going to drop an objective token in that square behind the elephant. I know can't really see it on camera because the elephant's out of control. We've got, what's this guy? This guy's Glitch. Glitch is here. During the EM noise spawn, all characters within 2 hexes of the sim do not remove their... Oh no, that's terrible. I got to get rid of that guy. Basically, if I don't kill this guy, he's going to... And I get to place this guy. He has to... I could put him here. I'll put him here, I guess. And he's going to attack the elephant. He's standing right on the objective token. I got to take that guy out too. They just keep spawning. This is pretty something else. I don't know how we're going to get that objective token because I've got to kill it and then somehow get into the square to get that. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think these objectives are going to keep piling up. That's just going to be the deal. Unless I could put it here. No, I have to put it here. And then it activates. And it's already standing next to him, so it's going to attack him. No, that's kind of terrible. Oh, I know what I could do. I could have moved this person down here. I could have stopped it there. That's what we're going to do. And then use that attack. And notice it would be that cone in front. Now this character has to move at least 1 space closer to me. So I'll move it right here. That'll be just fine. Move it right there, and now it will attack. There, that way I can get to this objective token. See, I'm smart sometimes. And since I only moved 2 squares, I get my action point back instead of having to move the 3. So we're going to see how this sim does. It's going to roll up 2 dice. I have a defense of 2, so I'm probably going to take 2 damage. Yeah, I do. I take 2 damage, but I also have animal toughness, so I'm going to reduce the damage to 1, which is totally fine. I would have activated some of the sims, but there isn't any within a radius of 4. Now we have to take this guy out, or I'm not going to be clearing that 4, which is going to be terrible news. So Howl's going to have to save the day, I think. Howl's going to come charging in with his ability here. I can walk 5 and then attack. I think that's going to be our plan, and see how we do here. I'm going to move, I guess I'm just going to move up 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move to right here, so I'm kind of moving up a little bit. And I'm going to attack, which means I'm going to gain 2 EM. We'll put it right there and see what we can do. Howl allows me to roll 5 dice, but I do get Wolf Pack. If this model performs an attack against a model that is engaged with another friendly character, it gains +2 to attack, and you bet I am. So these have a dexterity of 3. We need to roll up some big high numbers here. We got a lot of high numbers. This is a good thing. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, and I've got 2 misses that I could adjust one of these to make it a hit. With 5, we're doing 4 damage, which is way more than I need. I only need to do 3, so we're going to take 4 successes to do 3 damage. That is enough to take out Glitch. Glitch is off the board, and I'm going to put another objective token on the board. At this point, I'm going to spend this other 6 to gain a luck token. Our Howl now has 2 luck tokens. There isn't a sim within 2, so instead I'm going to spawn a new one, but we're going to remove Glitch's card from the board. That's gone, and see what new one has spawned. It looks like we have found another Glitch. This sim gains +1 damage to each attack. Oh no, that's really bad too. So put Glitch back on the board. He's going to start right here, and he has to move at least 1 space closer, so that's going to be right there, and attack Howl. I don't really like this. They may do +1 damage, but they still only have 2 attack dice, and they got a 2 and a 3, and Howl's defense is a 4. Dex is a 4, so he did not take any damage. That was awesome. It's now our monkey's turn, and our monkey Walter is going to use a move thing. We're going to move action. We're going to walk 5, 1, 2. I'm going to pick up this objective token. You can do this anytime during an activation, so I'm going to pick that up. It is going to cost me 1 EM to do that. And we're going to pick that up, so that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to move over to here, and I think I'm going to spend my extra 2 to move back into here, maybe? Or maybe I should just move back behind this. I think I'm going to move back behind this. But I want to make sure I can get to that objective next turn. That'll be super cool if I could do that. So in order to do that, I am going to have to be a little bit closer. I think I'm going to go right there. Something's going to spawn here and move 1. That's going to be bad news. Oh, I don't want to get attacked. I don't want to get attacked by this. This is going to be bad news. I got to figure out a place to put this guy after moving 1, 2 to pick up this objective marker. I think 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. I'm going to get attacked. There's nothing I will do about this. I'm just going to put him right here. He's going to have 1 EM. It's no big deal having 1 EM, because that means this person is the only person that is even close, and it's not going to activate because it needs to be at least 1. All right, cool. I think we're right where we need to be. That is going to cost me 1 AP because I did have to move 7 to get all the way over to here. We'll spawn our next sim, which is going to be right next to him. It's this guy, Mad Rage. When performing attacks, this sim attacks all characters adjacent to it. Oh, no, that's... These are all bad. These are all bad. I'm going to put this guy down right here, and he's going to activate, from what I understand. He's going to move up and attack. So he's going to roll up 2 dice and see how he does. Our monkey does have a dexterity of 4, and oh, look at that, 2 1s. This guy did not hit, which is fantastic, because this guy does get +1 attack for each of his attacks. He got a 2, which doesn't matter at all. Now that we're done with that, we'll move into the end phase, where we're going to spawn based on our EM, which is also going to be really bad. We're going to spawn 4 more guys. Yep, they just keep coming. We're going to spawn 4 based on EM. We'll start with the highest number, which is right down here. That's 4. We'll draw a card and see what we found. We have found, who is this? This is Glitch again. Noise generator. When CM ends its activation, add 2 EM to all adjacent characters. That's terrible. All right, we'll put him down on the board. We'll find Glitch. Glitch is going to be placed, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, right here. It's going to be placed right there and activate. He's going to move up and attack, sadly. All right, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully not too badly. We'll see here. I do take only 1 damage, and I reduce damage by sims by 1, so that's nothing. Unless, of course, Glitch has something that helps with his damage or something of that nature. He does. He has +1, gains +1 damage for each attack, so I am going to take 1 damage on Jugger. At this point, he's going to add 2 to all adjacent enemies here, and that's only going to be Jugger, and then Jugger's going to remove his EM die. The next 2 are Howl and Bob. They both have 2. I'm going to grab Howl's card first. Howl is going to have to deal with one shoe Sean. When performing attacks, this CM has an attack range of 1 to 3. Oh, that's terrible. We'll grab another Sean here and put him on the board. Again, this one will spawn right here and have to move at least 1 space. Oh, it's over here by Howl. So it's going to have to move at least 1 space closer. I'm going to move it 1, 2, like that. Actually, I'm going to move it in here. And it is going to attack, and that's totally fine, I think. If I could do that cone again with him, that would, let's see here, where's that cone going to hit? It's going to hit 2 this way, 2 that way, and 2 this way. So it would attack these 6 squares from how I understand. It's going to be 1, it's going to be straight across, and then straight across. Oh, no, it's not. It's not going to be able to hit them. Darn it. Okay, we're just going to move 1, 2 to here, because now I can remember, I can move them as long as it's 1 closer, and since it's 2 away, it can move 1 closer, and then it's only 1 space away. Now it's here, it's still only 1 space away instead of 2 space away. So that's good. I'm not going to get attacked there. I'm going to remove the EM die. We'll draw 1 for Bob, who's going to get attacked. There's nothing I can do about this. And he's going to deal with Prada. Prada, this CM has a walk of 4 and a dex of 2. Oh, so it's like, it's not as good, and it's not as... not going to be, oh wait, but this has a range value of 3. Oh, I keep forgetting about these cards. There's so many cards out here. Let's see here. This is going to attack, Sim has attack range of 1 to 3, and it can cause burning. So at this point where it is, it can attack. So I'm actually going to move it right up in there. That's totally fine, because next turn I can maybe take it out. I'll roll 2 dice for him, and I have a dex of 4. So, oh yes, nothing actually happened. We'll place Prada right here, and that's going to attack Bob. Bob has a defense of 2, and I got a 6 and a 4, so that's going to take 2 damage, but I can reduce the damage by 1, so I've only taken 1 damage from that Sim. The only one left is going to be this one. He's going to spawn 1 Sim as well, since he had EM, and we are going to spawn ourselves a Punk Girl here. Before the Sim is KO'd, it immediately activates against the character who caused the KO. Oh, that's not good. What am I saying? Nothing I draw from that deck is going to be good. So I should probably just stop saying that's not going to be good, because we all know it's not. We'll place out her character right here and then activate it, and it's going to move 1. So it's 1. Oh, it's going to move 1 to an attack, because it has to get at least 1 space closer. Oh, that's terrible. 2 attacks against our monkey, a 4 and a 3. Sadly, that 4 is going to hit because I only have a dex of 4. So he is down to a total of, what does he start with? He starts with 7. So he's already at 6 health. They got to keep hitting the big guys. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spend my luck token to make that a 3. So that thing doesn't hit me. I'm going to take no damage. That's way better. No damage is better damage. So this went from not very many people on the board to an absolute monstrous amount of people on the board. In a matter of no time. We're going to the cleanup phase. I am going to remove all these tokens that we did not pick up. And that's totally fine, because I guarantee I'm going to be dropping these all over the board here next turn, most likely, as I kill these things. Also, I do have to put down how many Sims we killed last time. And we were able to take out 3, so I put 3 little circles into there. And like I said, when these are all crossed off, when we get to 5, we'll cross off and put a point there. At this point, we'll score objective tokens. We don't really have any. And I'm going to be able to cash in any action points I didn't use for forage cards. So we're going to grab these forage cards and see what we're able to find. I was able to find a distress beacon. Use this on a model is damaged in EM noise 2. One friendly character within 5 hexes of the model may immediately perform a sidestep 2 towards the model. That's not bad. Then we have, what's this? Cone of Silence. Use this during the model's activation. This model may immediately reduce the total EM noise to 4. Oh, that's really good. I'm going to give that to our monkey. And I'm going to give this card, I think we're going to give this card to the elephant's huge. Let's just give it to the elephant. Why not? When he gets attacked, I can move people towards him. That's not a bad idea. All right, I think we're actually going to start with the elephant, because the elephant can do that trumpeting attack again and destroy just an absolute monstrous amount of people. I think that'll be really good. So I'm going to use my walk to move up to here. And then if I use this trumpeting attack here, I believe I can just go straight out in that cone fashion right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it's going to hit everybody that's not friendly to me. So I'm going to pay 2 action points to destroy all 3 of those Sims. That's going to give us a lot of awesome power and points. So first thing we're going to do is cross off 2 here, which is going to bring us to 5. So I'm going to wipe those away and grab 1 point. And we're going to put another point 1 there, because we were able to kill 5 of these guys. Or 3 of them, sorry. And we're going to remove 3 cards. 2 of them are glitch. We're going to remove 2 of the glitch cards, which are pretty good. And then on top of that, we're going to remove one of the Prada cards. So let's take a look. Which one do we like the least? the walk or the range. Let's get rid of the range. This thing can walk all at once. I don't care. I'm going to gain 4 of my EM noise for that, which is going to activate everybody around him for 4. Now, I'm not done. Just because I did that action, I could still perform more actions with this character if I want to. I'm just going to put one of these objective tokens right in the middle of all 3 of those places. If we decide to pick up that token, there's one in each of those spots because each one of these people drops attack in one of these things. So I think there's a chance I could take out another character here. But if we look, I need to get all 5 actions in order to destroy it, but I could potentially stun one of them, which means it won't activate, and I've got a lot going on there. And that's going to be 6 EM. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is going to activate everybody over here. It's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, all those are going to activate, which means this guy's going to move down, that guy's going to move down. Maybe we will be done, and just these 3 will activate. I think that might be okay. So this one's going to move in 1, 2, and this one's going to move 1, 2, just like that. That's totally fine. And I think that's going to be all I'm going to do with those characters. Our first attack is coming from McFly. It's kind of pointless to roll these dice because he does +1 to his attack value. So I'm going to take 2, but I'm only going to take 1 because of my ability to be tough. The next one is going to be with our, who is it? Oh, it's One Shoe Sean. And One Shoe Sean can cause bleeding, which could be pretty bad here. 2 force. That is absolutely terrible. So I am going to take bleed, or burn. I'm sorry. I'm going to be taking 2 damage. Again, I will reduce it to 1, but I am going to gain burn. Burn is horrible. Burn is the worst thing ever. Burning means I'm going to get -1 attack and 2 damage at the end of the round. And Sims are KO'd, of course, if they're burning. But I'm going to be, at the end of the round, I'm going to be taking 2 damage. And that's not what I want on this elephant. I now have to spawn another character as well, and we have a Glitch. Glitch is going to join the battle yet again, and he's going to come in, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 right here, and move down and attack. Let's see what he gets on his special card here. If this character uses a ability within 2 hexes of the CM, it immediately activates before the ability resolves. That's not a good thing that didn't happen. So we're going to be attacked now by Glitch. With 2 attack, he rolls up. He got a 1 and a 2, so I'll take the 1 damage and reduce it to nothing. The next person that's going to activate is our monkey, Walter. He's got an objective token. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to right here, and he can ignore terrain when he moves. I'm going to slam dunk this thing into the basket right here and give ourselves 1 victory point. At this point, I am going to have to take 2 AP because of that. Put that right there. According to our rule, I have to upload. It's going to take 1 AP and 1 EM. So we're going to pay our activation point here in order to do that, and we gained our 2 EM. That's the end of his turn. I'm actually going to use my Cone of Silence at this point to reduce the EM to nothing, meaning that I am not going to have any of these activate. I do have to discard this card. These are one-time use, and that's okay. We'll draw a new character into the battle here. We have another McFly. Well, I think we got all of them. The CM gains +1 damage to each attack. I need to take out these McFlys really badly here. We'll place them in a spawn point closest to the monkey here. And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be this one right here. And then it will activate. And I believe it has a ranged attack. It does not have a ranged attack, so it's only going to move 1, 2 towards him and stop right there. At this point, I think the only person we have left to... Oh, we have both Bob and Howl have not done something. I think Howl's going to go next. Howl's also going to try to slam dunk one of those tokens. He's going to spend 1 of his AP, or we're going to spend 1 AP, I'm sorry, to be able to move 7. We're going to move 1 right here, and for 1 AP, I'm going to pick up that token. So we now are going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to right here, and then we're going to spend another AP and drop it into there. So we're down to 2 AP, and of course, that means Howl's going to gain 3 EM, which is going to be absolutely terrible because almost everything around him is going to activate, which could prove fatal to him, but we'll see how it goes. Now, I do have 2 more if I wish to attack. I could charge if I wanted to, and that might not be a bad idea. I think I am. I'm going to charge, so I'm going to spend the last action point to charge, and we're going to see what we can do about maybe taking out some of those characters. I get a total of 7 dice. I get 5 because of my character, and I get 2 more because my monkey is adjacent to somebody I'm attacking as well. So roll these up. Oh, wow, look at that. That's going to be absolutely awesome. These have a dex of 3, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got 7 hits. Let's see what I can do with those. Oh, my goodness, that's amazing. If we look at our character card here, 7 is going to, well, it's going to do 5 damage. Let's see, we can do our Howl Wild Attack, EA Pulse, all non-friendly Models hit, suffer 4 damage. I could do that with, what is it? Wild attack is 4 successes. So we could do 1, 2, 3, 4 successes for that. And then we could potentially gain some luck tokens. So all in all, we were able to kill 2 Sims and get ourselves 3 luck token, which is going to be pretty sweet. That Howl is going to add another 2, or Wild Attack, I'm sorry, is going to add another 2 damage to the EM, which is 5. One thing I want to talk about when it comes to EM is if ever you have to place another dice, so say it gets to 6 and then you have to put more down, when it comes to spawning at the end of the character's activation, you're going to spawn for, or at the end of the round, you're going to spawn for every EM die that is out there, not just, so if you had 2, that'd be bad news. We're now going to activate every sim within 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's even this one down here. All of these sims are going to activate and attempt to go after Howl here, which is absolutely bonkers bad. I don't know how this is all going to take place. Now, the good news is I can only get a certain finite attacks against me because they're eventually not going to be able to surround me any more than I already have here. So I'm going to put the 5 up on there and see what we can do. I did kill 2 more Sims. We're going to mark that down. So we do have a total of 3 victory points right now, which is actually really good. The problem is we've got to survive. If I lose a character, though, I'm going to lose 2 victory points. I'm going to be rolling a lot of dice, but first we're going to activate these Sims. They're all going to move 2 spaces unless they have a card that's going to help them move even more. This one has a card that moves 4, 1, and I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, as long as it stays within 1 space of me. This one can also move 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still within 1 space of me. Now I believe that one has a range attack. No, he does not. This one's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. This one's going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. Why not? See, I can move these guys kind of around in circles. It's kind of neat. This guy's going to move 1, 2, actually it's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 over to there. Now I think he has a ranged attack. He does. So that one's going to be able to make an attack against me, and so are these 2. So I'm only actually getting attacked by 3, which isn't too bad for how many I actually activated with all my EM. And before we roll our dice, I do have to remember I killed these 2 with my Howl attack. So we're going to remove those 2 from the board. So Glitch is going to lose a card, and I'm actually going to get rid of the range attack on this guy. So nothing is going to attack me because I still move them closer, but I don't have to move them all the way to me as long as one hex is closer than where they started. So that's fantastic. I do have 2 more dead Sims, which brings our total kill count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's shown here on our card. We have a total of 3 more plus the 1. I also have to place an objective token here, and also return the objective token that's here, but I'm only going to put it in these 2 spots now. It's off camera. It's not going to matter. I'm not actually going to be able to pick it up. So it'll be totally fine. Bob the Bear is the only one that has not activated, and he's going to move 1, pick up that, 2, 3, 4, I think, to right here. Can I get in here? 5 to right there. There we go. Just like that. And he's got this objective token right here. So that's 1 for him. Hopefully he can get that to slam dunk it right there as well. And that is going to cost us our last action point in order for him to make that 6 speed move, because he normally has only 3 speed. That's the end of the round. We're going to move into the see what happens to all our characters. Before we go to the end of the round, I do have to spawn in 2 characters. 1 for Howl. It's going to be another Glitch. And 1 for Bob. It's going to be another One Shoe Sean. So let's grab those 2 characters and place them out on the board here. The Glitch is going to be placed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3 right here, and move 1. I think that's about as far as that person can get. I think we're going to go 2 to right here because it's moved up 1, 2. There we go. Then Sean is going to actually appear right here and move and attack the bear. Before we roll our dice, I did place these characters incorrectly. They should be here and here, so both of them can make these attacks. One Shoe Joe is going to roll first. I'm looking for... Oh, wow, look at that. Boom, boom. This guy missed. He got double 1s. We'll roll for the other guy and see how he does. He got double 2s. Oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to use one of my luck tokens from the bear, and we're going to lower this die down to 1, meaning I'm only going to take 1 damage. Remember, he's got that ability that reduces damage to the model from each sim attack by 1, so he's going to take no damage. At the end of round 2, we will go to our EM spawning. We'll start up here. Our wolf has 5, so our wolf is going to have to spawn in an enemy sim here, or it's going to be sim. It's going to be this person, Prada. Prada is going to have a bell ringer. When the sim inflicts damage, the target character suffers the stunned condition. Oh, that's going to be terrible. Prada is going to spawn in right here, I believe. Maybe let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so for over here is the closest it can be. So it's going to move 1, 2. I believe that's its speed value. Nope, it's got a walk of 4. Check this out. Oh no, that's terrible. It's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 and be able to be adjacent to him. So it's going to attack. Oh no. But what am I thinking? We remember the rule. We can only have to move it up to its, at least, so it's 1 square closer. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to right there. So it's not going to be in range. I'm not going to get attacked. I don't like to be attacked. Being attacked is terrible. We're going to do, we're going to have to do this one down here. He has a 4. We're going to remove that die and draw one. We have found, oh, this is the Punk Girl. Punk Girl, shake it off. The sim ignores the first stun condition it suffers. So we have to do straight damage to that one. And it is going to spawn in either here or here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So they're both 3 squares away. I'm going to spawn it in over here. Why not? And it gets to move towards me. 1, 2, just like that, unless it's got some super special move here. The 2 cards it has is shake it off and poke it with a stick, so we don't have to worry about this attacking. Just to show you the sim board that you would normally be playing with, this is where, I don't have the board, but you could print out a board right here that will show you where all these cards are going to fall in line. I know it's taken me till the 3rd round to show this, but I wanted to make sure that you're able to see kind of how these all lay out. And then, for example, now he's got these 4 that I have to deal with. Moving into the 3rd round, I also want to talk about ranged attacks that we haven't seen much because these characters don't really do ranged attacks. He's the only one that does, and his attacks are pretty much putrid in this kind of scenario. But you need to know that when you do make ranged attacks against people that are engaged, there is a minus to what you roll to hit. Even if it's enemies versus enemies, you still have a minus. So, but sadly, we're not going to deal with that because none of these guys actually have any type of range, like I said, except for the monkey. And I think we're going to start with the monkey. The monkey, these tokens all go away during the cleanup phase, which is now. We have to go to the cleanup phase and remove all of these objective tokens that are still left on the board from our last reign of carnage that our animals have done here, which is pretty sweet. I'm really digging these animals. They just run around and kill everything. It's pretty awesome. That's going to be, I think that's all the tokens I have out there. Yes, it is. We don't have any situation or status tokens, on any of the characters, and none of these guys are stunned, so I'm not going to remove those tokens. We're going to check to see about our victory conditions here. We have 1, 2, 3 points. We need to get a few more points in this 3rd round to hopefully be successful. The goal here is to get enough victory points that maybe even if I lose a guy, it's not going to be the end of the world because I'm surrounded by a lot of people here, and I don't know how we're going to get out of this. But I think we're going to start with Bob the Bear. Bob the Bear does have one of these tokens, so he's got to get it to here and slam dunk it. Oh, that means we got to get Howl out of the way, so I guess we're going to start with Howl. Howl's going to go first. I think if Howl's able to take out somebody, I can get the monkey over here to grab the token and slam dunk it as well. Howl's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's a pretty terrible idea. Let's move him 1. Let's just move him right to here. That's totally fine. And I'm going to attack right here on that figure. If I do that now, I'm not going to get the extra bonus for his attack. So let's attack something down here that's maybe adjacent to this bear. That's a good, well then if I'm adjacent to the bear's not going to be able to make a move. So how about we move over here? We're going to go 1, 2 to right here and attack this one, or maybe this, we'll attack that guy. That guy is adjacent to that bear, which means I'm going to get some extra bonuses. Or should I start with the elephant and just have this thing charge in? It could just barrel through almost all of this, which is pretty awesome. But no, I think we'll start with Howl. Howl's going to move over there and make an attack against Prada. Howl rolls 7 dice against Prada. Not doing very good, but let's check out Prada's cards. Prada does have a, when the CM inflicts damage, I gain stunned, and right here it has a, this CM walk 4, but Dex is only 2 instead of 3, so all of these are hits except for 1. 1 is not a hit, and I'm totally fine with that because this is going to be amazing. I'm going to be able to do this ability right here. Wild attack for 4. Let's check it out. For 4 here, I can do wild attack, which allows me to AoE pulse. All non-friendly models hit suffer 4 damage. And it's going to be a range of 1, and it's going to cost 2 EM. So that means it'd be a total of 4. Or I could just take her out for 2 EM from the actual attack of this. I'm not sure what to do. I think it'd be best just to attack and take out one of these characters. I think we're going to get rid of this stunned card, and that will remove this one from the board. But if I'm able to do if I'm able to kill 2 of these, I get another victory point. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. We're going to gain 4 EM and do our wild attack, which is going to kill 2 people. The other one it's going to kill is this one right here. So we're going to go through these cards. This one gives it +1 damage. This one, the CM attacks all characters adjacent to it. This one gets +1 to attack, and this one requires 4 damage to kill it in a single attack. I think we're going to get rid of the +1 damage. Damage is never good. So we're going to get rid of those 2 cards. So that's 2 more kills, meaning we are able to level this up yet again. If we put 2 in here, that's going to bring it to 5. So whoosh, off that goes, and 1 more point here. So we're up to 2 victory points on the Sim Kill KO point total. Yeah! We'll remove these 2 from the board, but I have to put a 4 down, which means everything within 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like almost everything here is going to activate. This one is going to move 1, 2, like that. I think that's about all I can do. I don't think it has a ranged attack. And again, I'm moving it 1 closer, but I'm not moving it as close as I want it to be. So for example, this one is also going to move 1, 2, well, I can't go, let's hear. I go 1, 2, I don't want it in front of that bear. So I think it is just going to come up here and it's going to attack. That's totally fine. This one is going to move 1, no, it's going to get in front of the bear too. Oh no, I think this poor wolf's going to have to deal with all these attacks. Yes, I think this wolf is going to have to deal with some stuff here. We're going to put these 2 tokens down, and this one's going to move up 1. This one's going to move up, well, it has to move 2, so 1, 2. This one will move up 1, 2. This one will move up 1, 2, I guess, right here. And this one will move up 1, 2. And this one's going to move 1, 2 that way. And maybe this elephant can come in and try to take all of that out. That's going to be my plan. We'll see if I can actually accomplish that. I don't think I'm going to be able to, but we'll give it our best try. Why not? We are going to get attacked by these 2 characters right there. Let's make it 3 because I forgot about this guy. He's got to move up as well. McFly, I've got 2 McFlys attacking. We're just going to roll up 4 dice. They all get +1 to attack. So this hit, oh my goodness, look at this. This is going to hit me 1, 2, 3, 4 times. That's a lot of damage. But I do have a ton of tokens for him. So we're going to lower some of these. We're going to lower this. I think we're just going to lower 1 die. I think we'll be okay. I'm going to lower this one to a 2 so that I'm only going to get hit for 3. That way, if we look at his card, being hit for 3 isn't the end of the world. He still has quite a little bit of health. 1, 2, 3. He's still got a few more. Oh, I'm getting a little worried. But we only have to survive this round. That is it. We do have to roll for our second person, Smoking Joe over here. Let's see what this is. Oh no, look at this, a 6. I got to get that down. We're going to discard 3 tokens to drop this to a 3. That way I'm not going to take any damage from that character because this character can cause burn. And I forgot about the burn that we had on our elephant. So our elephant is going to take 2 damage from the burn before we are able to start this round. Ooh, burn is terrible. Definitely terrible against animals. Animals do not like burn. Now that that's done, I do have to spawn my new enemy. Let's see what we have found. We have found, who's this? A stiletto. Get him. When moving toward a character who is adjacent to another sim, this sim gains +1 walk. Interesting. We'll put stiletto back on the board right here. It's going to move 1, 2, just like that. And that's going to be it. After I made that attack with the wolf, I could have kept attacking. I have the action points for it, but I know that he would be taking a ton more hits, which is why I stopped with just 1 attack. Meanwhile, Mr. Elephant here is probably going to be doing a ton of attacks. Let's see how this goes. He is going to first move and he's going to use this to charge. We're going to be using 2 of these tokens. He does have his Juggernaut. When this model performs a walk action, it may apply Shift 2 once per model per round to all models adjacent to it at the point of its starting movement. So these are going to shift. I'm going to shift them, I don't know, shift them away. 1, 2, there we go. Then get away from me. And this thing's going to charge 1, 2, 3, I guess to right there. I guess that's about as close as I can get. Really? Well, I guess this guy's in the way. That's okay. I think we're going to be pretty good from where we are, because at this point I can attack a whole ton of these guys. We'll start by, I think, using that Electro Blast. Electro Blast is pretty good. It's going to fire off in front of him, which means it's going to target, is it this way? It's going to target 2, no, it has to go straight ahead, I think. So it has to, it can only hit these 3 from how I understand how this diagram looks. So we're going to take away these 3 by paying 2 points. I'm going to pay 2 of my action points to do that. I also get to charge. I forgot about my charge. I'm not going to charge. I'm just going to use the movement. We're going to use the movement to get up there and then use that blast. That's going to be 4 action points. It takes out 3 people. giving myself 4 of this EM noise, which is just fine. I kind of want them to come to me. That's the plan. Let's see what we can do here. I have to put action tokens down. I think I've kind of run out of action tokens. I'm going to place down some of these luck tokens. These are going to be our action tokens for this time right now. I lied. We do have some objective tokens. Let's put them down because that's the right thing to do. We're going to get these out of here and place these down here, here, and here. There's lots of objective tokens that people can pick up. I'm looking at you, Monkey. Hopefully you can get some of these tokens. But of course, some of these guys are going to come running in here and probably stand on them, but that's okay. He's trumpeted. I think that's about all he can do as well, too. I could make an attack against this one over here, but then that would raise the EM to 6, and I think staying at 4 is going to be okay from where we are. We're going to activate these characters now. This one's going to move 1, 2. That's totally fine. It can move in here. This one's going to move 1, 2 that way. This one's going to move 1, 2 down here and attack. This one is going to, now it's 4. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 1, 2, just like that. These 1, 2, 3. There's some behind here. They're going to move 1, 1, yeah, 1 and 2. There we go. 1 and move there. This one will move 1, 2 to there. Everybody's made their moves. If any of these have range, they are going to attack now. I believe I killed all the stuff that has range because I don't have any range and all these things do. I am going to attack by these 3 figures right there. The first one is going to be McFly, rolling up 2 dice. It hit me 2 times. I'm going to take 1 damage from that. I don't think he has any special powers going to help him. When performing attacks, the sim attacks all adjacent characters. So this is going to attack the bear because he is adjacent to the bear as well. Oh, there's a lot of this guy out here. And of course I get +1 attack. And I also need 4 damage to kill this guy. So this is also going to attack the bear. The bear is going to take 2 damage as well, but the bear does have that toughness as well for only taking 1. That's the end of the McFly action. Now we're going to trigger this guy. This guy's terrible. The One Shoe Sean, that's what it is. One Shoe Sean's going to roll 2 dice. I'll hit 2 times. I'm going to take 1 damage, and again I'm going to be bleeding. Or sorry, burning. I'm going to be burning because of this card. I should have maybe gotten rid of the burning one right here. And it also says when he inflicts damage, I'm supposed to take away a luck token. I do have 1 luck. I'm going to remove that as well. These sims can get super powerful if you don't take them out. And these cards just keep on growing. Before I can continue attacking, I forgot these are the 3 I killed. I get to remove 1 card from each of those, so I am going to remove that burning card. That's a terrible card. And we're also going to remove one of the product cards as well, which I believe is the only one left. She's no longer on the board. And we got rid of a glitch guy as well, so I'm going to remove one of those cards. I'm going to remove this one. That one is no good. We have 1 more attack by our punk character who hit us twice. Let's see if that character has any cool abilities. This one says the sim ignores the first stun, and before the sim is KO'd, it immediately activates against the character who caused it to KO. Well, that didn't happen. So I'm going to take 1 more damage from that. Now, the elephant has a ton of health, but it is slowly taking the damage that it could do. It's getting down. It's slowly starting to count down here, but 24 is quite a lot of damage. There's a lot of sims around us, and I think now is the time to perform our extraordinary tactic. Once per game, as a free action, all friendly characters within 6 hexes of the activating character, 1 by 1, may immediately perform sidestep 4 and then may perform a melee attack out of activation. This should have been performed before these other ones attack, so I'm not going to do it yet. I should have done that. I'm going to do it now with the monkey. The monkey is going to use that extraordinary action. It's going to do it right now. So I'll be able to sidestep 1, 2, 3, 4 to right here, and I'm not going to make an attack, but the wolf is going to make an attack, and the elephant is going to make an attack, both against each one of these creatures here, and then the bear will then do hit sidestep 4. These 2 are not going to sidestep. I don't have any reason for them to do that. They're just going to make the attacks. Our wolf gets to roll up 7 dice and does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits from what I can understand. Let's see if that is going to change anything with the cards that this character has. I don't think it is going to do that. The only thing that's going to matter is it is going to take 4 damage in order to kill this sim, and our sims all have a dex of 3, meaning these 2 do not hit unless I want to use a luck token. Let's see how much I'm able to do with my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits here. I'm going to be able to do 4 damage. That's enough. I'm going to be just fine with this to do 4. We'll take that sim out, and I get to remove one of the cards. I think we're going to get rid of the card that allows him to take the 4 damage. We're going to get rid of that one. And that's going to be the end of that guy. I'm going to get another point towards our point total here. One more, and we get another point. Our bear is going to make an attack now. Oh, sorry, our elephant. Our elephant is going to make the attack. Our elephant gets a total of 5 attack. Let's see what our elephant can do. Hopefully it can do... Oh, no, an elephant forgot how to attack. Oh, no. That means I only got 2 successes. I'm not going to be able to do anything. I could stun it. I think we'll try to stun it. That'll be just fine. The one I'm stunning is going to be one of our McFlys. Our McFly is stunned. That's the only thing I can do. Oh, that was a terrible roll. Our monkey is going to do its activation. It's going to move. And while it moves, it's going to spend 1 action to pick this up, move it over here, and slam dunk it into there for another point. On top of that, I'm going to gain 3 EM from that just because that's how it goes. I'll put a 3 right here. It's 1 for picking it up and 2 for slam dunking it into the little thing there, which is pretty sweet. Sadly, my bear isn't going to be able to get there. Maybe he can. If he can take this guy out, then he can move up and potentially grab one of these and do something. But our monkey is going to finish there. I don't think our monkey has anything else it can do. It's going to stop, I guess, and then it's going to spawn anything within 3. 1, 2. This guy is within 3. He's going to move 1 right here and then 2 to here, I guess, and then that's all it can do because it can't get to him. I am going to spawn one out of this area over here. We're going to spawn another one of these Pradas. When this CM inflicts damage, lose 1 unspent action point from the action pool. That's absolutely horrible. We'll put it here, and it moves 1, 2. I could move it 1, 2. I think I'll do that. That way it's not actually going to attack me. That one monkey is done. We're going to use the bear. The bear is going to maybe attack these 2 people and then move on up. I think that might be the plan here. This one is stunned, so I don't think it actually can activate. I think it's supposed to stay back there. Could be wrong about that. Stun doesn't let you activate, but I can't remember if it affects Sims. It's going to stay there. That one's just going to stay right there. I am going to make my attack with the bear. Let's see how this goes. Our bear gets 7 attack dice. He's out of control. He's going to be able to hopefully take one of these guys out is the plan here. I got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits and a bunch of 2s. I'm going to use one of my luck points to turn this into a 3, which is then going to be considered a hit. So we're at 5 hits, which is fantastic because that can activate my wild attack again, which is going to do 2 damage to all unfriendly characters within 1 range. And if we look where the bear is, which is right behind the elephant here, I'm going to remove all 3 of these characters. We're going to then remove 1 of each of their cards. We'll get rid of a McFly, a One Shoe Sean, and the Stiletto card as well. So these 3 are done. We've removed these 3 from the board. I am going to gain a total of 4 EM for that because that was a pretty massive attack. We'll put that right there. I would be dropping objective tokens in these areas, but there's already a ton of objectives already all over the board. I'm not too worried about it. I also killed 3 more people, which means we're going to grab yet again another point. We'll remove and we'll be down to 2 if we look at our card here. I needed 1, so I'm going to erase these, so I'm down to 2 on that track, and we've got 3 points. I have an objective token in my possession, so I'm going to move, whoops, I'm going to spin my elephant. I'm going to move him 1, 2 to right here, and then dunk that into the point totaler thing right there. I'm going to get another point for that, and it's going to give me 2 more EM, bringing my EM to 6. Now, one thing I've been trying to do is I've been trying to make sure that I don't go crazy on my EM each turn. That does mean that I'm keeping a lot of extra action tokens that I normally don't need, but it's better to not go above 6 because that means you're spawning more and more enemies. At this point, that's going to be the end of the bear's turn, and there's nothing really that the Sims can do that's going to prevent me from probably winning this game. These can activate, but they're not going to be able to get up here and attack. I'm going to spawn a couple more guys in, but that's the end of the 3rd round, and at the end of the 3rd round, we need to have at least 5 victory points, and we have 3, 4, what is it, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 victory points. That was absolutely awesome. These animals are out of control good. Some of the other characters, I played with a different faction that has been used before. I wanted to make sure I tried a new faction out for this playthrough, and it was a little bit, these animals actually have a lot of power. Of course, they are strictly melee, so when you play in the competitive, it could be a little bit tougher because a lot of the other factions all have ranged attacks as well because, of course, they have hands. They can hold guns and stuff. This group doesn't, but it does so much raw damage that it's able to take out these Sims pretty easily. This was really cool. This was the first scenario, and remember, there's a lot of different scenarios you can play in this game that are going to be completely completely different. The co-op solo book has many different ones that have many different layouts that you see here. This one, and of course, each one of them has a story that goes along with it. And this is a continuing story based on your last one that you've done. But like I said, you can play all of these as one-shots. There you have it. That is the playthrough of Omicron Protocol, an intra-apocalyptic squad-based miniatures game from Dead Alive Games. This is a really cool skirmish game. I like the fact that you can play these as one-shots or as a complete campaign if you wish to, and every scenario is a little bit different. This one was, of course, a collection scenario where you had to bring things to this actual point. Some scenarios are going to make you take objective tokens back to your starting area. Other ones, for example, it's going to be kind of like a hot potato. You want to try to hold on to the objective as long as you can and become basically a target, which actually wouldn't be too bad if you had this giant elephant. But if the elephant gets totally surrounded, I have found that it can take an absolute ton of damage, so you don't want the elephant to get totally surrounded. I do like the way that each faction is completely different. There's ones that use a totally different system that is only built for them. Each faction has its own card that does give special rules for how it works. And like I said, the Yakuza, I think, is the other one that I have that is in the expansion that plays completely different, that has another token that you can place onto some of the enemies and gives you extra bonuses. So I like the fact that all these different factions do play completely different. It really helps the game come alive because I could come back to the scenario with somebody different and play completely different. These, of course, don't have range. The other ones do, so that can make things different as you're coming out. All these sims keep coming out. It looks really cool because it kind of feels like a zombie game in a way because all these sims keep coming out. But I like the way that all these sims are able to grow and adapt based on other sims that come out. So they're not always the same. Based on the cards they have, they're going to upgrade themselves and be able to pass those on to other sims. That's really cool. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when more content comes out. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. And in the description of this video, I will link my Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the channel, that is one way to do it. Of course, it is completely optional. I'm not going to change what I do. I love playing these games and doing all this content for each and every one of you. But you could go ahead and check out the Patreon, and you can help us decide what games we're going to play, what characters we're going to use, what we're going to be painting in some of our live painting videos. There's a lot of different options that you can choose. That's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're excited to see what comes next, then I need you to meet me at the table.